Hello, everyone. My name is Bill Spencer, Senior Director for Microsoft Teams Engineering. I'm really pleased today to have Magnus Mjosund from Decisions presenting their integration with Microsoft Teams and how to make meetings the most productive part of your day. Take it away, Magnus.
Thank you, Bill. We're very excited to be here. Hello, everyone. I'm Magnus Mjosund. I'm the VP of Product at Decisions. So I'll take you through our solution and show you a little bit of how we can help make your meetings the most productive part of your day. To start off with, as in the title here, the challenge and problem we're trying to help companies with is, of course, improving the quality of meetings and the efficiency of meetings. And as you all are aware of, there's a lot of meetings. It probably becomes more and more every year. And as we move to a digital, remote, hybrid world, the meetings are key to tie people together. But even though there are many of them and they are important, the quality of meetings and the practice of meetings itself are not always the highest focus in an organization. The Decisions platform really try to help you run better meetings by focusing on 4 kind of distinct phases of the meeting and really support you and cater for optimizing the workflow in each of those processes. So we'll get into a demo and live demo here very shortly, but just to set the stage a little bit, and also we are now going to do a demo compressing kind of a week, 2-week time frame into a couple of minutes. So I'll try to make sure to reference these distinct phases as we see some of the functionality. But to start out with, the meeting has a creation phase. 1 or more people come together and plan out the need for a meeting, discuss why you have to have a meeting. Could also be that, of course, it's a standing meeting, a recurring meeting series. Once you have that initial plan or creation of a meeting event, often you really need to ensure the attendees and the team can prepare. So how do you cater and really put together an easy way to get people to either contribute, to engage, to comment, or just to stay up to date, to understand what this meeting is about? A lot of the improvements we see in organizations really come from these 2 places. Either you realize that the meeting might not need to be a meeting, either you realize that you need more time, or you realize that your priority is not correct. You can easily understand if you're required to be in this meeting. And if people prepare and actually engage with the plan of a meeting, once you get to the meeting phase itself, be way more efficient and get to making decisions sooner rather than sharing information, sharing background, getting everybody up to speed. Of course, the meeting phase is key as well. How do you get a structured, well-run meeting? Often we talk to companies that say, we never have a problem with the meetings. They're great. We have a really good discussion, but we keep on discussing the same things every week. So how do you get from having a high quality discussion and high fidelity discussion to actually moving forward, to be able to reference back to what you discussed last time, to record the truth of the meeting easily so that it doesn't become cumbersome, but it's easy to follow up after, to reference it. And then, of course, that moves into the manage phase in between meetings. How do you stay up to date? How do you ensure that people are aware of what got decided or which task got agreed upon, or just the general summary of the meeting? So we'll dive into this, and just 2 quick ones on us as a company. We're based out of Norway, but really have a global both employee base and reach and office at this point. We're very excited working with organizations all around the world, also looking to improve their meetings, and also very excited to jointly do this webinar with Microsoft. We're a close partner on a lot of different initiatives, both on the development side and the customer and market side. Today we have over 1,500 customers or organizations around the world using Decisions, and it's crossing kind of everything from smaller organizations to very large conglomerates, but also different segments and market outlook. Really, the common denominator is that they are on the Microsoft platform and are interested in improving their meetings. But let's get into the actual exciting pieces of the product. So we'll show you how we are integrated in Teams and how we really make the Teams experience a lot more, I don't want to say better, but makes a lot of sense in regards to meetings. For those of you who are very familiar with Teams, we are then a third-party app with a personal app, a channel tab, a meeting tab, a bot app, and in-meeting side panel app. So we'll try to look at where, how that look and how that is integrated. But generally, we try to be an extension of the tools that you already use. Be it files that are stored in SharePoint, be it chat messages, publishing in channels, and really then give you the platform to drive your meetings. What we're looking at now is a completed published agenda. So this is the end result of when you actually set up and prepared for a meeting. You see some key aspects around agenda items, files, file integrations, presenters, but also the ability to create minutes and take notes then and link it back to the meeting. To take it all the way back to the create phase and just to give you a little glimpse of how you can get started when you, of course, install this yourself later. We are basing our system on the SharePoint backend of the team and the channel, but also OneDrive. So the storage location and really where you store the files set some of the stage for the collaboration. In a team and in a channel, you have the membership of that team that will decide the default access rights. Our granularity is very deep, so you can control down to the agenda level and file level who have access to what in a very easy way, which we'll take a look at in a bit. You can start off building out a blank agenda from scratch, or also build out your own template library. You have your monthly leadership meeting that has these recurring items. Maybe it's filled out in a longer way, or maybe it's just a skeleton. You can then have that in a draft mode, which is really where we support the different stages of a meeting. Some meetings require more people collaborating before it is published and sent out to either the board or the committee or published in advance. The co-authors can come together and collaborate on the agenda before you then send it out and publish it in the different aspects. This is then a quick way to get started. You hit publish and you're going. But we'll dive deeper in this example team and agenda here. There's a few key aspects in the preparation phase. At this point, we're still at creation or prepare before the meeting. You have now a way to both signal and send out information about who's responsible for each item. Often you have a combined agenda where there are some common themes, some open discussions. You have a person or a team coming in and providing an update on a project or topic. That might also be, for example, just on that agenda item. So we have then the ability to assign or give the presenter role to a set of people who are not invited to the meeting, and then send them a specific meeting event just for the time that is allocated to the meeting itself. Once you start getting around kind of preparing and discussing this, the meeting itself and the agenda can then be shared in different forums, be it the post in the channel, in the meeting chat, also updating the meeting event so you have it readily available when you access the agenda. But here the team can either come together, review straight on in the channel itself and have a discussion about the upcoming meeting. You can also suggest agenda items that will be sent to the organizer or the meeting admins of this meeting for a more kind of condensed proposal for that meeting. We might have a discussion on budget for alpha, because I need approval. Once I then share this with the organizer, we then have different ways to either add it straight to the agenda or also put it on kind of the backlog of the meeting. Now you're looking at a meeting series, the weekly leadership meeting. And here I can submit myself, and also being the organizer can approve it myself, but also have then the choice here to move things around and onto kind of the management part of a meeting series. Once I have that approved, I can easily add it to the agenda and make sure that we tackle this item in the next upcoming meeting. Also in the preparation, you have then the ability for attendees and also any participant to create notes and really just open a link to this agenda in OneNote. So you can then have your structured notes that are personal, but then also once you get to minutes, merge those into actually sharing them with the team. In the preparation phase, you can then move back and forth, and eventually you'll get to the meeting itself. So this is where you have multiple ways of running the meeting, of course. You then have a shared common plan of the meeting that have allocated time and also topics. And that can be displayed on the screen or screen share, but also if you have a digital or hybrid meeting, you then have the agenda readily available in the side panel itself. So here all attendees can follow along the plan of the meeting, and then also access any documents on the fly. We have support for kind of a digital voting solution, so you can then vote straight from the side panel, but then also note down action items and decisions in the meeting itself. Once you get to running the meeting, you also have simple indications of time, but can also activate a more forceful time reminder. So when you are actually then running towards the end of your agenda item, you'll get a notification across everyone that is joining the meeting to ensure that you keep on time and keep going. Once you have started to take down really the records of the meeting, such as action items, I need to send out the presentation here in advance. Either can add Magnus or select from the attendee list. This is then integrated with Microsoft Planner. So tying it to either a bucket or having kind of a running series of meetings, I can then save it straight from the side panel and have it be a record on kind of the meeting itself, but also synced it to Planner. So if we go back here on the agenda, we'll see that the the task we created, which is for the other meeting. Let's see here. It's then recorded on the agenda. Once I then go to create minutes, which I can trigger from either the meeting itself or from the side panel, we then have that readily available in also a very formal kind of customizable template form, a classic kind of meeting minutes. You can then of course sync with decisions and have task and decisions also recorded from the minute side, and run through really taking down and producing the minutes in a very nice formatted way during the meeting. So as soon as you are at the end, you'll be able to share and publish it. In minutes itself, the ability to send out for review, but also then finalize and capture the essence of the meeting. We're doing things in jumping over a few steps here, but to then showcase, once you run the meeting, you then have the plan of the meeting, the topics that were discussed, any tasks and decisions that was recorded, but also the minutes of the meeting readily available. Tying it all together and making it very simple to share it in a Teams channel or by email or in the meeting chat, and for the full team to be able to go in and review the items. If we look at the team and the channel, you then see that you have the meeting minutes posted in the channel, but you also then have channel apps that can give you the historic meetings, future meetings. You have task plans. So from the side panel, I just had a example meeting in. The task is already synced to our Kanban board. And you also then have decisions as another entity of recording, which is more a milestone or a stake in the ground of a decision reached, whereas tasks is of course a future looking assignment. And with that, I think you have gotten a quick introduction to the life cycle of decisions. I don't see the chat here, so maybe Patrick, you have
I can jump in. Thank you very much, Magnus. I think this is such a cool product because so much of what goes on in meetings is not captured accurately. And if you think about it, you got all these people, you multiply it times whatever their salary is for the hour or the time, whatever the meeting happens.
Becomes
and
a big
then
number.
The follow-up can just be not as crisp as it needs to be from a productivity perspective. And I think hybrid work or working with distributed teams only magnifies that, because often there's that chatter afterwards in a meeting where you say, okay, so Bill, are you going to follow up on that action item or whatever? Right here, it's organized. So I really appreciate that. We've got several questions. One is it possible to update the agenda during the meeting?
Yes. So we can even do a quick demo here.
Of that. Thank you.
Yeah, we do like to do things live. If you then see the summary of the meeting, and I'll just check it's the same meeting. If I either then realize that for key metrics, we then have a need for more time. So I can go in easily then say 30 minutes, or even it's an urgent issue that came up during the meeting itself. We got to make sure that we add a little bit of time for that. As soon as I then have updated and set this, there is a live update in the meeting itself, which also allows us to maybe showcase the time tracker alert here, if we say 18 minutes, you will then, or should then, get the time track alert in the time here. Yeah, so then it turns red towards the end here. You also then have things like ask for meeting rating, which also will produce a adaptive card in the meeting itself for you to be able to provide feedback.
That's excellent. Now, it looks like it also identifies who has updated the agenda. So it's not just the organizer, it could be meeting participants who are like, oh, I forgot to say, let's add this other thing. And then it's clear that, Bill Spencer is the one who added that to the agenda. Excellent. Yeah. The other question is there integration with CRM systems so that you could, say you're meeting on a project team and in your Dynamics or similar CRM system, you have the people by different roles. Is it possible to use that CRM data to automatically generate action items? So for example, say that, again, this is a construction scenario, have each of your vendors who are working on, pouring the foundation or laying the brickwork or putting in windows, whatever, update status. Is there something like that possible? Is there automation possible?
Yeah, so the system is built into Planner. So if you're thinking about the backend being Planner, you have then the full flexibility of any kind of Power Automate or any workflow that you want to automate or even recreate in a workflow. You then have the kind of two-way sync, so either making sure that the tasks are on the agenda and you review them in the meeting, or they have been created before the meeting and you kind of review them there. Or even we have some construction companies that use kind of the agenda for the review of the site. So when they walk an inspection round, they actually upload pictures and upload the statement as they're moving through the building for that meeting with their partner or their client.
That's
so there's a lot of flexibility in it.
So then the meeting can be that much more productive because instead of asking in real time, you're reviewing the content that's been prepared for the meeting in advance. Okay, very cool. Another question is, any plans around supporting government cloud? We have many federal and state and local agencies who require FedRAMP moderate ideally. And then we have GCC high customers like Boeing. I imagine they would love something like this. We have DoD, cloud as well, military. I mean, it sounds like they kind of an accountability layer on top of Teams meetings that any complex project team would benefit from.
Yeah, so we're actually built from the get-go with security in mind. So for the technical view, we're a kind of single-page application that only uses delegated permissions. We don't process any personal data or any user-generated data. The only thing that comes from kind of the decision servers are object IDs. All the content that you see, either written or linked or uploaded, is directly loaded from SharePoint on the user load basis in the application. So from a architecture point of view, we already planned for this, but we are in the assessment and verification process of the approval side. So we are, I don't want to say soon and commit to anything, but it's something that we are looking to do, and we have initiated kind of starting the reviews to get the certifications needed.
So our FedRAMP moderate customers could look to first half of calendar year 23 that there very well might be a GCC version of decisions. Thank you so much, Magnus. This is such a cool product. I really appreciate you presenting it today, and I look forward to the collaboration between our organizations.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thanks all. Bye-bye.